How's it going, guys? Welcome to the Felix Copa Conservative channel. I'm your host, Dylan Benyonis, the Felix Copa Conservative. I had to make a video about this article that really just goes hand in hand with the lefty push to destroy Western culture and really kind of how would you put it? I mean, just completely change all of the canon of Western culture. So, Columbus is awful. George Washington's awful. Like, all these guys are terrible, right? All of these strong white men from the past are evil because they're strong white men. Now, first things first. I am wearing a shirt that declares me a racist. And this is not true. But the point is that this is a joke, and I realize you can't see it. But there we go. Any living person who wins arguments with liberals, which is the Merriam-Webster's definition of a racist these days. So I just thought that I would clarify that, because you're just seeing me sit here with the red shirt that says racist, and I'm sure that lefties were sitting there going, I freaking knew it. I knew he was a racist. I knew it from the moment he said he didn't like BLM. So not the case, guys. It's just the fact that somebody who wins arguments with liberals is a racist. They're also sexist, bigot, chauvinist. What else are you? Capitalist, I guess. A bunch of other things. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into it here. Check this video out, or check this article out. We're over here in popular mechanics. Which that's going to start this off for us, because why? Why has this crazy leftist push made its way all the way through every segment of the culture? Why is popular mechanics trying to shame us by giving us a map for where indigenous populations once were? If you did the same kind of map in Europe, it would look insane. Because there have been conquests for tens of thousands of years, right? If you were looking in the Roman Empire, and some little frickin' soy boy named David Grossman in the Roman Empire did a map of all of the indigenous populations that Rome conquered, yeah, you'd have the same thing. But guess what? That's what happens when you are part of an empire or part of a big country. There is zero. There is not one country on earth that has continuously been ruled by the same group of people since civilization dawned. That's not true. I guarantee you that is not correct. So this whole idea of let's go back in time to look at where the Native Americans, used to live, and not just for historical purposes, but to show you whose land you're actually living on. That's the point here. It would be one thing if we're just doing a history lesson. I'm a history buff, love it, can't get enough of it. But that's not the point of this. The point of this is to show us whose land you're on, you white racist bigot. Even if you're brown, black, or Asian, you're still a white racist bigot if you own land, you landowner piece of shit. So let's take a look. You can just, I can smell the soy on this guy's breath from here. David Grossman, you are a wuss. I do not like you. All right, let's go ahead and get into it here. So it's not Indigenous Peoples Day. October 12th is Columbus Day. It always has been. It always will be. It always has been since they made it that way. But whatever. It always has been and it always will be. And that's what I'm sticking with. It's not Indigenous Peoples Day. Get another day. So let's read here. The holiday. What holiday? There is no holiday. The holiday used to be Columbus Day. Our banks do not shut down for Indigenous Peoples Day. Anyway. All right, let's move on. So, before Christopher Columbus and explorers arrived and displaced them, because no indigenous populations ever warred with each other or ever conquered each other or ever displaced each other. It's only whitey. It's only whitey. All right? Get that through your racist bigot heads right now. An interactive tool shows you which indigenous populations once lived on the land where your home now is. Fuck off. Oh, God. All right, let's get through it. As more and more communities recognize the second... Okay, we're going to skip all this nonsense. Ugh. Oh, well, actually, hold on. This is great. A great first step is learning about which tribes resided in your specific part of the country before vicious settler colonialism uprooted them, or likely worse. Or likely they killed them. Yeah, I'm sure that there was a lot of that. And I'm also sure that no Native American indigenous populations ever laid a finger on any settler ever. All right? So it was just one way. Whiteys are evil. All right, let's keep going. We know that theme is there. I'll try to stop going back to it, but man, it's hard. All right. So, thanks to a mapping company's clever approach to Google Maps, it's possible to learn which native tribes once inhabited your neighborhood. God. And of course, it's run by a fucking Canadian, dude. If the lefties in our country get our way, we will just overnight morph into Canada. Socialized medicine, I guess Biden's not a limp-wristed, blackface prime minister, but, whatever. We'll have Kamala, who, she doesn't do brown face, because she has a brown face, but whatever. She's the worst of them all. Ugh. So, go Trump 2020, for God's sake. Anyway, so it's run by a freaking Canadian here, just naturally, and Canadians also absolutely love trying to meddle in the U.S., trying to make us more like them. They hate our freedom. They absolutely hate our freedom. It's disgusting. Anyway, so the native land started in early 2015 during a time of a lot of resource development projects in British Columbia. Temprano writes, while mapping out pipeline projects and learning more about them for the sake of public awareness, I started to ask myself whose territories all these projects were happening on. Okay, right away, you started learning more about them for the sake of public awareness. That's bullshit. The sake of public awareness is you making the public aware of the fact that you're against these pipelines, and the way you're doing that is to drum up all this old nonsense about how Native Americans were given an unfair shake, which I don't think anyone's going to disagree with you on. They were. I don't know that any Native Americans anywhere back in the day were given a fair shake. They weren't, but that's in the past. They're compensated pretty decently now. They've got their own land. They got their casinos. Depending on what kind of tribe you belong to, you receive money from the federal government. Sorry, man. It's in the past. Deal with it. Deal with it like everybody else deals with their heritage, by getting a job and moving on, or by not. And it's up to you. Anyway, so let's continue on if we can make it through. Once I started finding the geographic data and mapping, well, it just kind of expanded from there. And I cried myself to sleep every night thinking about all those evil white men and the things that they did. Oh, God. Anyway, from the Trans Mountain Pipeline to Dakota Access, oil pipelines are often flashpoints of technological controversy. With native lands, Temprano was able to use cutting-edge mapping to explore the legacy of a wide variety of borders not often seen in the mainstream. Again, we're going to translate this for everyone who's listening. What that means is that, these aren't in your textbooks, but we really want to cram this down your throat. It's not going to be widely verified, and there aren't going to be a ton of corroborating sources out there for you, but trust us, you're an evil bigot, and you're on stolen land, and you should give it back right away, you evil white bigot. Again, even if you're white, brown, black, whatever. Doesn't matter. You're an evil white bigot if you own land. Okay? Give it back. All right, so that's enough of this. They're very often inherently colonial. Some of the toughest guys in our history, some of the toughest men and women in our history were the colonials. They defeated the British Empire. They conquered a complete wilderness. They've established the strongest and most prosperous economic country in the history of the world. All of that was done on the backs of the colonials. They're not evil. They're not monsters. Again, natives were given an unfair shake, man, and that's a bummer, but it's in the past and it's time to move the fuck on. All right? So happy belated Columbus Day, everyone. And thanks for tuning into the channel. Feel free to leave a like, share, comment, or subscribe. Love you all. Have a patriotic day, and we'll see you again here real soon. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Talk to you later.